Every morning before I open my email, before I look at my calendar, before I do anything else, I spend about 15 minutes with AI. Not scrolling, not learning a new tool, just one focused conversation about whatever is most on my mind for the business that day. And that 15 minutes has replaced hours of work I used to spread across my entire week without even realizing it. I want to show you exactly what that looks like. Hi, I'm Sabrina Prouty. I spent 30 years in Fortune 100 healthcare companies, helping large organizations cut through complexity and simplify what wasn't working. I helped teams save over $30 million doing exactly that. So when I tell you I found a 15-minute habit that changes how your whole week feels, I am not talking about a productivity trick I read about somewhere. I am talking about something I built because I needed it. Something that works whether you are running your own business solo, managing projects, or leading teams through change. If your mornings feel like you are already behind before you have even started, this is for you. Before I get into it, quick question. What is one thing that takes you way longer than it should every single week? Drop it in the comments. I genuinely want to know. Because I bet AI can help with it. And if you share it, I will tell you how. Here is what I want you to think about for a second. The things that drain your time the most every week are rarely one big task. They are a dozen small ones, each one taking longer than it should because you are doing it alone, from scratch, every single time. Research that requires reading 6 articles before you can even form an opinion. Content you need to write but cannot figure out where to start. A decision you have been going back and forth on in your head for 3 days. Emails piling up that need thoughtful responses. None of those things feel urgent enough to block time for, so they just bleed into everything else. The edges of your evenings, the back of your mind while you are trying to do something else. Before I started this habit, that was my week. Not one big time problem, hundreds of small ones. The 15 minutes does not do one thing. It handles the front end of all of them. Research, planning, ideation, decision prep, all in one focused conversation before the rest of the day starts. By the time I open my email, the most important thinking of my day is already done. That is a completely different way to start. So what does 15 minutes with AI actually look like? Let me be specific. For my own business, it usually covers one of 3 things: research, content, and decisions. For research, anytime I need to understand something, whether it is a topic for content, a tool I am evaluating, or a question a client asked me, I used to spend hours reading and sorting. Now I describe what I need to understand, give some context about my business, and ask for a summary and a recommendation. What used to take me days now takes one good conversation, about 15 to 20 minutes. Before I started this habit, starting a piece of content meant staring at a blank page trying to figure out where to begin. Now I describe what I want to say and who I am saying it to, and I ask for a starting point. I always edit it, always make it mine, but I am never beginning from nothing. That alone saves me more time than I can calculate. When making any significant decision, I talk through first. I describe the situation, the options I am seeing, and what I am trying to figure out. And then I ask it to help me think through the trade-offs. It does not decide for me. I still do that. But I come to it clearer and faster than I ever did going back and forth in my own head. Now, for those of you who are project managers or change managers, I want to speak to you directly for a minute. Because I spent 30 years in that world and I know exactly what your mornings look like. You start the day, and before any real work even begins, you need to build your to-do list, check what meetings are coming up, prep for each one, and work through your email follow-ups. That is an hour of administrative work before you have touched a single meaningful task. every single morning. Here is what that looks like with 15 minutes of AI. Your to-do list. Instead of staring at a blank page trying to remember everything that needs to happen, you do a brain dump. You open AI and you just start typing. Everything that is in your head. The thing you said you would follow up on yesterday. The email you still need to respond to. The deliverable that is due Friday. The idea you had in the shower that you do not want to forget. All of it, just out of your head and onto the screen. Then you ask AI to turn it into a prioritized to-do list, sorted by urgency and impact. You can even paste in yesterday's unfinished list, pull in your key emails, and ask it to factor all of that in together. It takes everything scattered across your head and your inbox and gives you back one clear list of what to do first. What used to take 20 minutes of trying to organize your own brain now takes 5. And you start the day with your head clear instead of full. Meeting prep. At the start of your 15 minutes, type out the meetings you have coming up that day. Just a quick line about each one. Who it is with, what it is about, what you need to walk out of it with. Then ask AI to build you a prep brief for each one. What to cover, what questions to ask, what decisions need to be made, what you should know going in. You are giving AI the context, and it is organizing it into something useful. No special setup required, just you typing what you already know and letting AI structure it. Now, if you want to go a step further, some AI tools can actually connect to your calendar and pull your meeting details in automatically, so you do not have to type any of it. But you absolutely do not need that to start. The simple version works just as well, and you can do it today. Email. This one might be my favorite because it removes one of the most draining parts of the morning before you even start responding. Instead of opening your inbox and wading through every single message trying to figure out what matters, you copy your emails into AI and ask for a high-level summary of what came in. Just the big picture. What is here? What is urgent? What can wait? Then you ask it to flag the ones that need action or a follow-up response. Not all of them, just the ones where something is actually required from you. Then for each of those, you ask AI to draft a response. You describe the context if needed, review what it writes, adjust the tone to sound like you, and send it. You are not skipping anything. You are not missing anything. You are just not doing the slow, exhausting work of sorting and deciding and staring at a blank reply box alone. AI handles the triage and the first draft. You handle the judgment and the send button. For people managing high email volume, this alone is worth the 15 minutes. All 4 of those tasks, to-do list, schedule review, meeting prep, email follow-ups, in 15 minutes. Not because you are cutting corners, because you are not doing the slow parts alone anymore. And whether you are a project manager, a change manager, or just someone running a small business by yourself, the principle is exactly the same. The 15 minutes is not about AI doing your work. It is about you walking into your day prepared instead of scrambling to catch up. I want to explain why the time limit matters, because it is not arbitrary. When you sit down with no constraint, it is easy to wander. One question leads to another. 30 minutes disappear and you are not sure what you accomplished. When you give yourself 15 minutes, you come in with one question or one problem. You leave with clarity or a starting point. The constraint forces you to be specific, and specificity is what gets you useful output from AI. Vague questions get vague answers. Specific questions get things you can actually use. It also works because it is a habit, not a task. It does not live on your to-do list. It happens before the list even exists, before the chaos of the day starts, before the inbox pulls you in 17 directions. By the time all of that starts, your most important thinking is already done. That is not a small thing. That is the difference between running your day and your day running you. Here is all you need to do to start. Pick one thing that is on your mind about your business right now. One thing, not a list. Open ChatGPT, Claude, or whichever AI tool you already have access to. If you have never used one before, ChatGPT is free and you can be up and running in 2 minutes at chat.openai.com. Type out what is on your mind. Describe the situation the way you would explain it to a smart friend who knows nothing about your business yet. Ask a question or just say what you are trying to figure out. See what comes back. Do that for 5 days and notice what changes. You do not have to be good at this right away. You do not have to use it perfectly. The goal is not to impress anyone with your AI skills. The goal is to stop carrying so much alone. And the only way to find out what it can do for your specific business is to start the conversation. If this felt useful and you want to keep going, the best next step is to come join us in the Sensible Practice community. It is completely free. Inside, you will find monthly coaching calls, practical AI training sessions, and a community of small business owners who are building these exact habits together. And the moment you join, you will get my AI starter prompt sheet, which gives you the exact starting points for the kinds of conversations we talked about today, already written out so you are not starting from scratch. The link is in the description. It takes about 2 minutes to join, and you can be inside today. And if you are already at the point where you want to figure out specifically where AI fits in your business, I do free 15-minute discovery calls. No pitch, just a real conversation about where you are and whether I can help. That link is in the description too. Come find us. I would love to see you in there.